Hello and welcome back to my channel and to another week of family dinner ideas, or what we eat in a week as a family of 5. This week I've got 2 slow cooker recipes for you, and we're using up some of that Christmas turkey that a lot of you probably have still got in your freezer. I know that I always freeze some turkey over Christmas, and then sometime in January I pull it out and make something when I'm no longer sick of eating. Let's try again. So in January I tend to pull out the turkey from the freezer when I'm no longer sick of eating it, and then make some meals with that. So we've got a really nice slow cooker turkey dish. I also show you how to make my best ever beef brisket. If you've never tried beef brisket in the slow cooker and finished it in this way, then you have to do it because it's so good. And as it's January and there's not a lot to do and everyone's trying to save a bit of money, and there isn't really the weather in the UK especially to be going out lots of places and doing lots of like interesting activities, Steve and I have decided that we're going to make the most of what we've got. So we've started to take our camper van out and about and use it more on days out in the winter, not just in the summer. And I love cooking in the van. We pull up next to a beach. We've got our own little fridge. Apologies if the camera angle keeps changing. My camera keeps falling off the side and I don't know why, because I always put it here. So anyway, yeah, we started to take our van out. We've got a fridge, we've got a 2-burner hob, and we just love pulling up by the beach, making a really hot soup and toasting some bread. We went to a really nice favourite park of ours with a really long river walk, and we did a massive walk and then came back and toasted bagels and had like peanut butter and banana bagels, and we just snuggle up and chat and just make the most of being outside in the fresh air. And it kind of got me thinking that I know that a lot of you are here for the food content. I love watching videos where, even though I watch them for like the food content, I also get to see a little bit of like the area where these people live or what people do in their spare time, and kind of tie it in together. So what I thought we might do is, when we start doing our days out, I might take the camera along with me and film some like foodie bits, whether it's little street markets we go to, whether it's cooking interesting and different meals, like ingenious things you can do with 2 hobs in a van, traveling to different farmers markets and then shopping from there and seeing what I can make. So I just thought it might be something nice. I can just an extra little video now and again, no set schedule, but just when we go somewhere that I think that would be really beautiful to see. Steve loves getting like the B-roll shots, he loves getting drone shots. We live near some really beautiful places, and I think it might be nice to kind of still keep it food orientated, but show some of the days out and places we go, and some of the beautiful like Kent countryside, the beaches, the markets, the food on offer. Recreate some of those dishes, either come home and do it or do it in the van. If that interests you, I'd love for you to leave me a little comment down below and just tell me if that's something that you'd like to see or not. In these dark, kind of dreary like winter months, we can maybe open up everybody's world a little bit and go out and see some sights rather than always being in my kitchen. It's not going to be like a major day-by-day series or anything, but just when we do go somewhere that I think is beautiful enough to share, I'd like to share it. So hopefully you'll be interested in that. I'm getting out of breath. With that being said, let's go and have a look at what we've been eating at home recently. So I'm just starting tonight's dinner, and what I'm going to do is use everything I've got in my freezers and fridge that I could possibly throw into a stew and make a slow cooker stew. The reason I'm starting it off on the hob though is because most of the things I'm putting in are frozen. So in here I've got a whole tub of dark meat turkey that I froze over Christmas. I've also got a frozen tub of turkey stock that I made with the carcass, so I'm throwing that in as well. Then I've got a random leek and potato soup that I homemade a while ago, and I really want the tub back, so I'm going to throw that in as well. This is why I'm going to heat it up on the stove, and then I'm going to transfer it to the slow cooker. In here I'm also going to add these cheesy potatoes. I made these for a slow cooker video as well, and they've got like cheese, smoked bacon, garlic, mustard, and they're potatoes obviously. So I'm going to heat all this up on the hob, transfer it to the slow cooker, and then I'm going to find any veg I've got. So I've got some onions, I've got carrots, I think there might be a pepper. Basically anything I think that I can add to this I'm going to throw in, and then I'm going to put it all in the slow cooker and just leave it all day, and we'll see what happens. It'll probably be the nicest soup I've ever made, and then I'll never be able to make it again, but I'm just going to heat this up, otherwise it's never going to cook in the slow cooker. So the other things I'm going to put in are these potatoes that need using up. This is a really good way to refresh your cupboards in your fridge. So I've now got no potatoes hanging around at the back of the cupboard, I've got no carrots left in my fridge. It's really nice. I can clean out my fridge, clean out my cupboards, and then go shopping and stock up with fresh stuff, knowing that I haven't wasted anything. So these will be fine, they just need the little eye bits popping off. I've got my carrots, I've got 2 onions. I'm going to throw in quite a lot of chopped garlic, and then I just found this in my baking cupboard. I wonder if it's still in date. September 22, it'll be fine. So I just found this in my baking cupboard, and I know that I will be the best mum and wife in the world if I put dumplings in a stew, because it's not something I ever bother doing, to be honest. So something I rarely do, but I know that my husband and the boys love it, so I'm going to pop a few of those on top at the end as well. Proper winter warming hearty stew. And I've got some part baked rolls left over from Christmas as well. Like, they're not baked yet, the vacuum packed ones, so I'm also going to do those later on to go with it, so we can dip it in. And oh, this is my favourite type of meal. I've also got a yellow pepper actually, but I don't feel like carrots, potato, onion and all the other bits are going to go so well with the pepper, so we'll see. I'll probably find another use for that one.
More away than when it says your meal. It's not overtly scary, but it's scary on something about it, not really knowing what's going on. The story collection, After Kin by Janice Leader. I just really enjoyed this, and I know her. And once he dies, she finds out that he wasn't where he said he was. It's a company secret. I know more about him, to be closer to him, to just find her place at the same time. And I just thought it was so interesting.
So I'm about half hour away from serving up the stew. It's turned out really nice. The flavours are really good. I added some salt and pepper, and I've just rolled some dumplings, and I'm just going to pop them in and then leave them to cook. Whoa, oh no. And they should pop up quite nicely. I might have to rescue that one a little bit, it's got a bit too far under. It'll be fine. Pop the lid on and give it 20 minutes to half hour. So here we are served up, and the dumplings have gone really fluffy and like quadrupled in size. Got some nice air fried part baked rolls with butter, and this is what's for dinner tonight, like turkey and everything stew. So for dinner tonight we are having one of our absolute favourites, which is cauliflower wraps. So we've got roasted cauliflower, we've got pepper, leek, and then we've got lettuce, onion, and coriander being nicely sprinkled on the top there. We've got some lighter than light mayo and some fresh jalapenos as well. So I'm just going to wrap these up, and this is what we are having for dinner tonight. I can't wait. And we also put some sriracha on, and they always look so much better when I film them with the sriracha afterwards. But I have spicy. So I'm just about to do my slow cooker beef brisket. This is one of the cheapest cuts you can get. This was £8 and apparently it serves 6. It's the perfect joint to do slowly because it does go quite tough. So I'm going to pop this in my slow cooker, and then the way I always do it is so simple. I've got these deluxe beef gravy granules from Lidl, and I make them up in a big mug with about 420 ml of water, and I put about 8 teaspoons in there just so that it's really, really thick. The spoon literally stands up in it. And then I add a big tablespoon of Marmite, pop it all together, some black pepper, and then that's going to go on low for around 7 hours. And then to get the perfect beef brisket with the burnt ends, we finish it off in the oven on quite a high temperature, just for 10 or 15 minutes. It really does make all the difference. So first things first, I just pop my beef in the slow cooker, and I'm going to remove the strings because we want it to actually fall apart. And whereas the string is to hold it together because they roll it. And this is my favourite way of making beef in the slow cooker. And then I just kind of unroll it so that we get the whole thing. Cover the beef in some black pepper. I'm going to add my gravy, which is really, really thick. You don't want to add any salt to this because the Marmite and the gravy already have plenty in them. It's a really, really strong flavoured beef. And then we're just going to put a big heaped teaspoon / tablespoon of Marmite, and then I'm just going to stir it through. And it's going to go on low for about 7 hours, and then we'll just finish it off in the oven. And this is honestly, you need to try it. If you can't go to Lidl and get that gravy, you could get a different deluxe beef gravy. I recommend getting a high quality one for this because it does make all the difference. So that's it. I'm just going to pop it on low, and I'll be back in about 7 hours time. So halfway through cooking the beef, we just added some chopped onion or some sliced onions just to give it a bit more flavour to the gravy. And that's optional. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. So what I've done now, it's been on for almost 8 hours, so it's gone fall apart tender. You can actually shred it with a fork. It's just like melt in the mouth. I popped it in a baking dish, and then I've put the majority of the gravy over the top. I've kept a little bit back to add after we dish it up in case you want some on our like mashed potatoes and things. And now I've preheated my oven to 220 degrees, and I'm going to put this in for probably 15 minutes, maybe 20. Just keep an eye on it. It will evaporate some of the liquid, make the gravy a little bit thicker and more intense flavour, and it'll also give it a really nice crispy, like burnt topping. Not burnt, you know what I mean, but burnt end, caramelised topping. Just gives it so much more flavour. And then I'm going to serve it with some mashed potato and vegetables. So here is the beef out of the oven, and you can see that it's gone really nice and sticky on the top. The sauce has thickened nicely. And I'm just going to serve it with some mashed potato and some broccoli. So here we are served up with some tender stem broccoli, some creamy mashed potato, and this is the best beef brisket. Honestly, if you've not tried this method, try it, and it's really, really good. Finishing it off in the oven just really makes the dish. And I've poured extra gravy all over the top. You can just see it down there. This is my finished slow cooker beef brisket. So tonight I'm doing kind of like a use up dinner, breakfast, brunch kind of thing. It is dinner time, but this is what the boys are having anyway. Steve and I are probably going to have a salad or something a bit later. So we've got some pork and apple sausages, some bacon. I had like bacon open in the fridge. The pork sausages were reduced out of the freezer. I've got some spaghetti hoops, which I always put in a bowl for 2 reasons. One, it stops everything else getting juicy, like the bagel and chips and things if you don't want them. And also it keeps them hot because these go cold really quick. And some oven chips that I've done in the air fryer, and a bagel which we got a pack for 20p, also reduced. So this is what the boys are having tonight. So we have got some salsa and feta loaded fries. I've just done some oven chips and put some salsa, which I've added some peppers and onions to. We've got jalapenos, fresh coriander, feta cheese, and a little bit of the very light, I think it's 50% light cheddar as well. And this is what is for dinner tonight. So that is it for this week's video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you'd like to see some of our little days out in the van or some van cooking, that kind of thing. Also, please make sure to subscribe if you like food content. I don't want to be one of those people that says I can't say right now, but it would pay for you to be subscribed and stick around for this channel. I've got something coming up that is going to enable me to give back to you, and I really want as many of you as possible to be in with the chance of that. So I've kind of told you what it is, but I can't yet. So it'll be coming up within the next month or so, to do with cooking, something that everybody, I'm pretty sure, will love. So make sure to subscribe, leave me a like, and I'll be back really, really soon with another video. Take care, guys.
Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too.